How Eala willed herself to 3-hour comeback win. 3 hours of nerves, noise, and no quit. And at the end of it all last Wednesday night in Abu Dhabi, Eala did more than win. She stayed. In front of a now famous throng of Filipino fans, her match against Alexandra Sasnovich became a test of wills. At 2 hours and 51 minutes, it was the kind that stretched beyond the scoreboard. That distance was not unfamiliar, though. Back in June 2025 at the WTA 250 Eastbourne Open, right before her Wimbledon debut, Eala went the same long route, only to fall short against Maya Joint. 4-6, 6-1, 6-10, 7-12. That loss lingered. But this time, the ending differed. What separated Abu Dhabi from Eastbourne was not shot-making. Rather, it was survival. When the body faded and the margins disappeared, Eala held her ground and refused to let the moment slip. Survived this one. Thanks, guys, she said in a social media post afterward. I really tried my best in those moments to fight. She also remarked in her post-match interview. I really tried to find the fight. And in the end, I think when I was coming back, I was able to find it. So I'm really proud of that. And she did it in the middle of a stadium with nearly no empty seats, partisan supporters screaming her name and waving blue, white, red, and yellow flags. These moments are moments I only have dreamed about, she added. Selling out stadiums is insane, and being in these matches in particular just stick with you. And I've had a lot of them in the past year, so I'm really happy with this win. Thank you. Next. The win marked Eala's fifth quarterfinal appearance on the WTA Tour and set up a clash with second seed and world number 11 Ekaterina Alexandrova. It also nudged her up to number 38 in the live, unofficial WTA rankings. Her first to level, 250 and above, title still waits, as a lone trophy so far came at the WTA 125 in Guadalajara. Still, in the round of 16 of the Abu Dhabi Open, Eala continued to prove she can last through the longest nights and fight her way through to the toughest of wins. From the first ball, the court seemed to push back against Eala, as if the red clay itself had decided she would need to earn every inch. Her opponent moved freely, confidently, striking early winners, dictating rallies, setting the tempo like a metronome Eala couldn't yet. The scoreboard reflected it brutally. Points lost quickly, game slipping away before Eala could anchor herself. Eala felt it in her legs first, the slight delay on the split step, the fraction of a second too late to the forehand corner. Then in her breath, shallow and uneven, as if the match were already ahead of her lungs. She dropped the first set, and the applause that followed was polite, not encouraging. The kind that says good effort, not this is yours. She sat on the bench and stared at the strings of her racket. They hummed faintly, still vibrating from a last rally. She knew this feeling. She had met it before, the moment where doubt tries to pass itself off as realism. You're set down. She's playing better. This might not be your day. Eala closed her eyes, not to escape, but to listen. Beneath the noise of the crowd, beneath the internal commentary, there was something steadier, a memory of mornings before sunrise, of empty courts and tired hands, of choosing the hard thing again and again when no one was watching. She stood. The second set began not with fireworks, but with intention. Eala stopped trying to win the match and instead chose something smaller, one rally, one clean return, one step closer to the baseline. She added margin to her shots, height over the net, patience where panic had lived. The rallies lengthened. The points slowed. Her opponent noticed. What had been easy began to feel sticky. What had been automatic now required effort. Eala chased down balls that should have been winners, turning defense into neutral ground into opportunity. She didn't celebrate the small victories, no fist pumps, no looks to the box. She stored them quietly, like kindling. Halfway through the second set, something shifted. It wasn't dramatic. It was subtle, almost invisible. But Eala felt it. The match had stopped running away from her. Games stretched. Juices piled up. Sweat darkened the brim of her visor. The sun hung heavier in the sky, and time itself seemed to slow, as if waiting to see who would blink first. Eala didn't blink. When she broke serve, it came not from a blistering winner but from an error she forced. One extra ball, one more question asked of her opponent's legs. The set evened. One set all. The applause was louder now. But the third set, that was where the match revealed its true cost. 3 hours is a long time to stay brave. The rallies grew cruel. Each point felt like a negotiation between body and will. Eala's calves burned. Her shoulders tightened. Every save demanded focus. Every return demanded faith. Across the net, her opponent fought just as fiercely, refusing to fade, refusing to yield. They traded breaks. Momentum changed hands like a fragile object, dropped and picked up again. At times, Eala felt herself fraying, anger after a missed forehand, frustration after a net cord turned against her. Each emotion arrived loud and uninvited, and each time, she let it pass. She returned to the basics. Breathe. Bounce the ball. Pick a target. Commit. At 2 hours and 40 minutes, the match became less about tennis and more about identity. Who are you when your legs are heavy? Who are you when your best shots no longer come easily? Who are you when winning requires not brilliance, but endurance? Eala answered with her feet, chasing another impossible ball. With her hands, steady on a second serve. With her mind, refusing to rehearse defeat. When match point arrived, it did not feel cinematic. It felt quiet, earned, fragile. The rally unfolded slowly. Deep crosscourt. Slice backhand. A short ball. Eala stepped in. For a split second, everything, the crowd, the heat, the 3 hours of effort, collapsed into a single choice. She swung not with desperation, but with trust. The ball cleared the net, kissed the line, and stayed in. Game. Set. Match. Eala did not fall to the ground. She did not scream. She simply stood there, chest rising and falling, absorbing the truth of what she had done. She had not been handed this win. She had built it, point by point, choice by choice, when quitting would have been easier. As she walked to the net, exhaustion finally caught her, but so did something else, certainty. Not that she would always win, but that no deficit was final. No moment too heavy, no match beyond her reach if she stayed long enough to fight for it. Some victories are loud. This one was forged quietly, over 3 sets, 3 hours, and a will that refused to leave the court.